I thought I was just going to be talking about Birmingham, but it wind up being Minneapolis also. All right, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Can't trust a man with bangs. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Let's get into what's been happening over this past weekend.
ABC 3340 News Weekend begins with breaking news.
It was people everywhere, people crying, screaming. I seen people running, the grieving type screaming, like, I know someone is hurt or have passed away. So it was that type. So that's when I instantly knew someone lost a loved one in Club Hush. It's sad. It's very sad.
Tragedy in 5 Points South overnight. 4 people dead, 17 others hurt. More than 100 shots fired in a search for suspects in what Birmingham police are calling a mass.
Hey, before we get into this, let me ask y'all a question. Genuine question. I'm asking it from the bottom of my heart. What y'all doing out there standing around at the police tape for? What you waiting to see? What you so nosy for? What? I'm asking from the bottom of my heart because I don't understand it. It's not something that I would do. What are y'all standing out there doing? What do you think is going to happen? After the tragedy strike, what's out there for you? What you doing? You want to see them put the bodies inside of the ambulance? You want to see the police rope it off? You want to cry? What are y'all doing outside? Honestly, I'm just wondering. Before we get into the crime and the mass shooting itself, what y'all doing outside? What you hanging around for? You ain't got nothing better to do? You ain't got to go to work in the morning?
Shooting. Dejon Singleton, who you just heard from, says he saw 5 or 6 people leaving the scene on stretchers. Good evening. I'm Megan Scarano. Hundreds of people were seen running, screaming, and crying following the gunfire. Hours after the shooting, crowds of people remained in the area and well into the morning. Families of the victims were arriving to find out what they could about their loved ones. 3 people died at the scene. A 4th victim died at the hospital. No one is in custody, but BPD is vowing to find those responsible.
Rest assured, we are going to do everything we possibly can to make sure that we uncover, identify, and hunt down who was ever responsible for preying on our people this morning.
We have breaking team coverage on this developing story tonight. ABC 3340's Valerie Bell has the latest on reaction from community members. But first, Austin Pratt is live this evening in 5 Points South with everything we know so far from law enforcement. Austin, the FBI is assisting Birmingham with this investigation.
Megan, multiple agencies are assisting the Birmingham Police Department, including the FBI and ATF. At last update, BPD says 21 people were shot in Saturday night's targeted shooting.
Approximately 21 people were shot. 4 of those are deceased. They were taken to various hospitals.
The Birmingham Police Department says it was a targeted shooting around 11 p.m. in the 2000 block of Magnolia Avenue in 5 Points South, a very busy entertainment district with hundreds of people nearby. They say
there's a lot of weave and sandaling it up out there. It's a lot of eyelashes. It's a lot of weave. A lot of bust down, middle part bust downs, a lot of baby hair. There's a lot going on out there in Birmingham. Okay, so Birmingham look just like everywhere else. I got it.
Busy entertainment district with hundreds of people nearby.
A lot of gorillas.
They say there were multiple shooters.
They were in a vehicle, got out of the vehicle, shooting occurred, they fled in the vehicle.
The shooting happened outside of the Hush Lounge on the sidewalk. Investigators are trying to determine if a switch was used in the shooting.
I believe it was something that was fully automatic. I'll just leave it at that. There's multiple shell casings. That's something that's going to take some time for our forensics team and ATF to assist us.
More knowledge said he could be of any ethnicity. Well, I'm willing to bet $1 million on it. You know me. I'll take ethnicity for 1 million, Alex. I'm looking to double my money. What is this? Double jeopardy? Oh, I'm willing to take 1 million ethnicity for 1 million, Alex. Okay, what ethnicity do you think it was the person that was using switches and all of these middle part buzz downs that's out there watching and right outside of Hush Lounge with a bunch of black people holding each other? What ethnicity do you think that is, Anton? Alex, I don't need that much time. I just wanted to double check my answer. I'm going to take African Americans for 1 million, Alex. The hell are you talking about? It could be any ethnicity.
In processing.
There are no suspects and no one has been taken into custody at this time. With so many potential witnesses in the area, the Birmingham Police Department is calling on the public's help in this investigation.
Yeah. Alex. Considering the scene right now, wife beaters, I see a bonnet back there. I'm going to take African American for 1 million, Alex. Now, see, I know if I was white, then y'all would say I was racist. But because I'm black, I can actually be honest. I'm not Andrew Schultz, so I can actually tell you the truth of what's really happening out here.
Public is the eyes and ears of the city and the police department.
Sagging
They
pants.
know far more than we will ever know.
Bonnets.
They've got to share
hair
that
hats,
information with us.
Butterfly eyelashes.
So we can act on
Hush
it.
Lounge.
Remove those people from the street.
Cigarette, Black and Milds. I can pretty much tell what this is.
In the area, several businesses line the streets. You can see
We
security
didn't used to call
cameras
these
outside many of them.
shootings. We just
BPD
called
is calling
we
on
just called these
businesses that
shootings.
may have captured something on their cameras to come forward with that evidence. In Birmingham, Austin Pratt, ABC 3340 News.
Thank you, Austin. ABC 3340's Valerie Bell returned to the scene this morning. She continues our team coverage tonight with reaction from the 5 Points community.
Willing to risk it all, Alex.
People we spoke with are sad and angry. Some say they're just fed up.
If there was a white man, there would
The
be
church
rioting.
bells rang out Sunday morning in 5 Points.
If it's a black man, they gonna mourn. If it's a white man, they gonna tear the city apart. If it's even somebody that look remotely like a white man, they gonna tear the city apart. Remember, y'all gotta remember, black lives only matter when it's somebody else that commits the crime against it. As much as we want to say, you know what, pray for the families and all of that, remember, black lives and phone calls and national attention only takes place when it's somebody against another race that then perpetuates the crime. It never matters, and it's never a big deal. We don't really care. I'm surprised they even labeled it a mass shooting. We don't really care. We only mourn when we that look like us kill one of us that look like us. It don't matter when it's other people. It only matters when it's other people, not when it's us doing it against us. Remember that, all right?
Families out and about on the streets.
There's plenty of people walking around like it's just another day.
The night before, this popular nightlife spot turned into the scene of a deadly mass shooting.
The first thing I heard was people yelling and screaming.
Birmingham police report more than 100 shots were fired.
Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. So you telling me that a bunch of white people walked up in there? It's a potential for a bunch of white people to walk up there with over 100 shots? That's an execution. That's an execution. That's what it is. It's beyond a mass shooting. It's an execution. It's somebody that seen somebody and they pulled up on some ops. They had switches.
Fired.
You're going to party at different places to have fun. You're not going to party at different places to get killed by a gun.
Police believe it was a targeted hit.
What they don't realize is you got to look over your back for the rest of your life. And you throwing your life away for some pecans and peons. It ain't enough money in the world will make me go out here and take somebody's life.
Robert Banks says he knows the victims' families.
Right now where we standing at, it's blood on the ground. It's blood on the ground right now where we standing at, right now. So when you got blood on this concrete, it ain't the blood of the elders, it's the blood of the youth.
Firefighters used hoses to wash away the blood as others cleared away debris. All this while the community struggles to cope with another tragic shooting in the city.
It happened anywhere and everywhere. That's where it happens at. And right
Not in
now,
my neighborhood.
all over the city of Birmingham.
Almost like unbelievable and expected at the same time.
Unfortunately, I wasn't surprised when I heard about it.
Some.
Oh, hey. Shh. Now you know that you're going to get in trouble for speaking on black crime now, buddy. All right? You can't look like that. I don't care how many chains you got on. I don't care how many face tattoos. I don't care how many beanies you wear. You cannot call a spade unless you black.
Unfortunately, I wasn't surprised when I heard about it.
Some questioning their safety.
It just makes me not want to leave the house, you know.
You either, buddy. You too clean cut. They're going to call you a lame. Lames have no business. Go home, do your cybersecurity job, software engineering. They're going to say you a sellout if you over here talking about anything that's happening in the black community to the other people. All right? Even though it's national news.
You never know, like, if you can be next, just a part of something that you really have no involvement in.
I don't feel safe, you know. And I have friends that work in that breezeway at another bar, and I don't see how they do it.
For this city, the violence is nothing new.
It's black on black crime at a
Oh, finally somebody called it out. It's what? Say that again for me, buddy.
City, the violence is nothing new.
It's black on black crime at an all-time high in the.
And you know what the funny part about this whole situation is? All of this can be avoided. You know how? Because we already know who all of the people that's doing the crime in our communities are. I say it all the time. Y'all don't really care about black lives because you know who the killers, you know who the dealers are, you know who the people that's robbing, you know who the jack boys are, you know who everybody is in the community. Everybody, I guarantee you, I guarantee you that people in the community know who did it, and ain't nobody gonna tell because black lives don't really matter to black people. Oh, I can't tell on my own. I gotta let this killer run free. I can't tell on my own because I guarantee you there are so many different people that knows who committed this atrocity. Now, again, when it was over there in Georgia at the high school, it was a manhunt. Go and get him. I can't believe it. National news. When is this? Everybody know who did it. Hey, fam, let the police do their job. Let the police do their job. You want another example of it? Don't worry. It's not just happening in Chicago. It's not just happening in Birmingham. It's happening everywhere, even in Minneapolis.
I do want to get back to some breaking news that we are following right now out of Minneapolis. That is where we are learning from police that 2 men are dead after a shooting, and we also know that 2 teenage girls and a woman are wounded here. Now, police say that the shooting did happen just before 2 a.m. local time, and it left a 20-year-old and a 21-year-old man dead. 2 girls, ages 16 and 17, were wounded, along with a 23-year-old woman. The shooting happened after multiple fights broke out in downtown Minneapolis near the intersection of 5th Street South and Hennepin Avenue. That is according to Minneapolis police. This video coming in from our Fox 9 Minneapolis station. Police say they did arrest 1 person related to that incident who is currently facing charges of rioting. Officers also reportedly recovered a handgun from the scene of that shooting. A short time ago, we did hear from the assistant chief for the Minneapolis Police Department. Do want to play that for you right now.
We had a group of individuals engaging in fights down here at 5th and Hennepin. Officers heard the sounds of shots fired when they were breaking up some of those fights, and they immediately ran into the gunfire where they found multiple victims. 5 victims were struck by gunfire. Officers performed life-saving measures on those victims. 1 victim, the officers performed CPR. Another victim, the officers put on a tourniquet. All 5 of those victims were transported to the hospitals. Sadly, 2 adult males, 20 and 21 years old, succumbed to their injuries at the hospital. 3 additional females received non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. 2 were juveniles, 16 and 17-year-old female, and 1 23-year-old female. Officers recovered a lot of evidence from the scene, to include a firearm. 1 person was taken into custody and will be booked for PC riot. Homicide detectives are investigating. 5 families had their lives changed last night, and our hearts go out to them. It's extraordinarily tragic when we're seeing across the country that these arguments escalate into violence so quickly, and particularly gun violence. We'll continue to have a robust plan, late night safety plan down here with 21 days apiece that are helping us. We're beefing up, supplementing our late night safety plan downtown, and Hennepin County Sheriff Witt is going to be assisting, sending us resources our way. We're also adding additional resources with Minneapolis cops, and we're going to be sending mounted patrol down here as well. With that, do you have any questions?
Tom Dog is not arguing with nobody at this point in my life. At 42 years old, I don't argue with people. I know it's a lot of ego out here. People even say, yeah, man, let's scrap it out. If it ain't family, see, I know my family. We could move some furniture around and do what we got to do. And then we go back and we dap it up. But these people out in the streets, man, everybody's gun license, no gun license, whole thing in the trunk with the switches and all of that, everybody carrying now. My goal is to get back home to my family and to be able to do the Millionaire Morning Show on Monday. That's my goal. I know a lot of y'all like to be in the streets. You like to keep it real. You like to be a real one. You want to make sure that you got out of it safe and you could live to tell a story. And the goal is to get home safe. So for all of my chasers and my bag chasers that want to live to make another $1 million next year, we going to be chilling. We staying out of that mix. We don't want to be around it. The minute that we sense that something is going to be off, we're going to go ahead and make some adjustments and keep it moving. All right? So that's what's going on in Minneapolis. That's also what's happening in Birmingham. Prayers for the families, but we need to change culture. We need to change what we allow in our vicinity, and we need to remove the people that surround us that's going to wind up doing some of the worst things for us. All right?